Namaskar, welcome to the Digital Guru Thursdays. I'm super excited to host you all this evening, and I'm sure you guys are excited about this evening as well. On our show today, we have Neil Patel. When you think of digital marketing, you would definitely think of Neil Patel. Neil is awesome, and he's going to join this Digital Guru talk show today, where we're going to have a lot of conversations about social media marketing for small business. Today's session, well, a lot of knowledge bombs from this expert, and we're going to have a lot of conversation on this subject. May you have any questions, reserve it at the end, and I will take up questions. Hi, Neil. How are you doing? Happy morning.
Good evening to you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Neil, so are you ready for this? A lot of questions for you today.
I'm ready.
Okay, so the first question to you is, the topic today is social media marketing for small businesses. And if I have to ask you about 3 mistakes that businesses generally do in social media marketing space, what are they according to you?
Okay, so the first one's the biggest one. The first mistake that people make is, and this by far is the biggest one, is they post too often. And here's what I mean by that. The more you post, in theory, the better. And if you have amazing content, and you have amazing content once, twice, 3 times a day, then post once, twice, 3 times a day. But if your content is mediocre and you just keep posting, most of the social algorithms, what they do is they say, all right, Sorav, Sahil, Neil, whoever it may be is posting content. We think it's mediocre because no one's liking, no one's commenting, no one's sharing. So then when you post content in the future, less and less of your fans will see it because they're not engaging with your content. So it screws up your reach. So the key is, yes, if you have amazing content, post as much as you can. But if you don't, only try to post when you have good stuff. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't post if you're not sure. You should experiment, try new stuff. But that's a big mistake that people make because it's just like, I don't know.
It's like posting it for the sake of posting it, basically.
Yeah, and a lot of people like doing it, and this is like, it just doesn't work. The second big mistake is not going live. The more live and the more interactions you do like this, the more you engage your audience. You know, like me and Sorav were going live for, I think, the next 4 or 5 weeks, every Thursday at 8 a.m., right?
4 weeks, yeah.
So, like, this is a great example of going live, why I should end up doing it. You know, eventually when we go live, we should go live on all the platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Why not do all of them at once? That'll be fun. So going live helps boost your engagement, and then that maximizes your reach over time. So you should definitely do that. The third big mistake that I see people doing is they don't post content natively. And here's what I mean by that. If you create a video on YouTube and you want to get more video views, you don't take the link, the YouTube URL, the link of the video, and share it on Facebook. What you would want to do is take the video, re-upload it to Facebook, and then share it there. And if you don't upload the content natively like that, you just won't get that much reach. Because remember, they're owned by different companies. Why would Facebook want your YouTube content to do massively well? They don't. They want you to re-upload videos to Facebook, not YouTube.
True, absolutely. Some really good insights there. So guys, if you're excited about the live sessions that we're going to do for next 4 Thursdays together, just go in the chat and type down and say excited. Neil, do you always wear white? Is that your preferred color?
I have so many white t-shirts. It's just ridiculous.
Same here. I have a lot of white shirts too, yeah.
I have so many clothes in my closet. And
yeah,
like,
because I remember I saw you in AW Asia, and you were wearing a white shirt there as well. So I think most of the places you wear white. All right, Neil, let's say a very local retail outlet has a very minimal budget and less resource for social media marketing. Which
wait, did we meet in person at AWA?
Sorry?
We met in person at Affiliate World Asia?
No, we did not meet in person. You were on the stage and I was there as an audience. And I remember there was a time when I had to ask a question, like people were allowed to ask questions, and there was one mic in the center. So I went there and I said, hey Neil, I'm one of your biggest fans from India, and this is a question for you. So maybe you won't recognize me, but then I did not chase to meet you. Like many people are chasing to meet you. I did not, because I always believe in the energy of the universe. I know if the meeting has to happen, it has to happen. And now you see we are meeting every Thursdays to have conversations. Okay, so we didn't meet, but then I was observing you and I did ask you a question. All right, so let's get back. The question was, let's say a very local retail outlet has a very minimal budget and less resource for social media marketing. What would be those three things that you would recommend to them at the moment, according to you?
Okay, so a local business,
Right.
correct? Local or retail? Which one? Like local?
A local retail outlet has a very minimal budget and very less resource. What would be those top three things that you would recommend to them at the moment? Let's say retail outlet, it could be a retail fashion outlet, it could be a retail, anything retail basically.
Okay, so
Local.
if
Yeah.
small local retail business, the first thing I would do is do Google My Business. That way you can get on the map, people know you're there. I would upload videos, pictures, have amazing quality footage of your store, your products, your inventory, and just talk about that in Google My Business. The second thing I would do is encourage reviews on all your sites. So when people leave your retail shop, in the bag, I would put a little flyer, a piece of paper, a little card that says, "Enjoy the experience. Please rate us here." You know,
Wow, nice.
by doing that, most people won't rate you, but if enough of them do, it'll add up. You'll get better reviews, and then that'll help you get more foot traffic in the future.
Yeah, I
Then,
think, yeah, go ahead. Yes, yes, amazing.
and the next thing I would end up doing is, if you're really small, you're a retail shop, this isn't necessarily traditional marketing, but there's other stores that sell different products that your audience would like, and there's products that they sell that are different, but their audience would love your product. So I'm going to give you a very specific example. Let's say I sell chanya chori, right, which is like Indian dress for women. And let's say I sell jewelry. There's two stores. One sells jewelry, one sells Indian gowns for women.
Right.
They typically go together because when people wear this specific type of Indian gown, they usually wear jewelry, like I don't know what they're called in English, like bangles that go around your wrists, or wrist bracelets. I don't know what they're called exactly in English. Necklaces, earrings. And what I would do is I would tell the jewelry store to promote every time someone buys, and give maybe a coupon. Hey, here's 5-10% off this store that sells these Indian gowns, and every time someone buys the gowns, here's a few percentage points off if you go to this jewelry store. It's a good way to cross-sell and make quick money. And remember, the best customers are ones that already have spent money. They're more likely to spend more than it is to get brand new customers.
Right. So I think we should find the loyalty and the influence out of the existing customers than going chasing for the new one. That's a very interesting tip there, Neil. I really like the fact that a lot of people, small businesses, don't really invest in good photography, which is very important, which you have rightly addressed. Good one there. Somebody was asking, why do you always wear white? If you want to address that up.
Okay, so I just have a lot of white clothes. I don't know why. I like the color white. It's where I live. It's hot. So I have black t-shirts and stuff. I don't wear them really anymore, but it gets hot really quickly. White is more conducive of a very sunny environment. Like if you lived in Dubai or India where it's blazing hot, if you wear black all day, you're going to be more hot. So that's one reason. But two, every time I buy clothes, I buy them in bulk. So if I buy one shirt, I'll buy 10, 15, 20 of the same one if I like it. And then I keep adding them on and on.
Awesome. This is good. Thank you for answering that, Neil. My next question is, what's your take on the influencer marketing? So I'll keep the comments on and off because sometimes it's extremely distracting. However, Neil, the question is, what's your take on influencer marketing campaign? Should a brand hire influencer for a one-time gig or for a long-term gig? What do you think is really, really effective?
Here's the thing about influencer marketing. First off, it's super effective if the influencer is the right influencer. Okay, so look at Reel. Reel is one of the biggest companies in India now. They're getting so much press because Facebook and all these big companies are buying into them, right? And of course, it's Bani's company, so everyone knows him and loves him as well.
Which, yeah, Geo, right? Yes.
Yeah, Geo. Sorry, I kept saying.
Yeah, Geo. Yeah, Geo. Perfect.
So, okay, so you look at Geo, a lot of companies are buying into it. American companies or global companies are buying into and giving him high valuations. Now, when you think about this company, Geo, they grew because they had the Shah Rukh Khans of the world, the Shira Rais, or whoever it may be, talking about how Geo's amazing and they should all join it. Now, that model is very effective. On the flip side, if I had a marketing agency, which I do, called Neil Patel Digital, and we're global, we're in India, we even have an India office, and we have Neil Patel Digital India. If I had Shah Rukh Khan talk about how Neil's great at marketing and his ad agency is great, it's not as relevant. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
But if I had you, who's well known in India, or if I had Mukesh Ambani talk about, hey, if you're really looking to grow your business, you got to check out Neil Patel Digital India, a lot more people are, because Mukesh Ambani is well known. You're well known as well, so it would work. And it's much more effective than if Shah Rukh Khan talked about it, right? Because the context is. So if you're going to do influencer, the big thing is look for the most relevant influencers. They don't necessarily need to have the most amount of followers, but they need to ideally be in your space. And that's how you succeed.
Perfect. So I think it's the relevancy of the influencers that matters the most. Instead of chasing the influencers very famous, chase the influencers very, very, very connected to your niche. That's an interesting tip out there. And do you think that we should hire them for long term or just one stint? What is your suggestion there? Because I generally see people hire them for one stint and I generally don't give a good ROI. But rather, if I showcase the loyalty of an influencer for a longer duration, I might actually convince a lot more of his audience. So what is your take on that?
If you do them once or twice, it's not bad. You tend to get a decent ROI. They're very relevant. It's more of a long-term ROI. You won't see an ROI right away because it's more branding effect. If you get them to do it 10, 20 times, 100 times, there's diminishing return. So yes, using them multiple times is good, but if you use them every day for a year, it's overkill and it diminishes and there's a very little ROI. So you got to find the right balance.
Awesome. Thank you, Neil. Neil, Facebook pages versus Facebook groups versus Facebook Messenger. What is your preferable choice at the moment, considering that the organic reach of Facebook page is ideally not that great? So if you have to...
So Facebook pages have reach. Facebook groups don't have amazing reach anymore either. Right. Facebook Messenger converts really well, but the problem is I bet you Facebook is going to really start charging a lot of money for this in the future and won't let you message your contacts. So right now, Facebook Messenger is the most effective, but the question is, when are they going to charge for it?
Right. So you're saying Facebook Messenger is the most effective of all these three right now?
But it'll start costing a lot of money in the future.
It's already costing a lot, so I know it will definitely shoot up with time. Interesting one. So what is that one effective social media marketing tool? Yeah.
Right now with Facebook Messenger, what a lot of people don't realize is Facebook has a plan eventually, from what it looks like. They're trying to integrate it into everything. WhatsApp, Instagram, their whole ecosystem. So once they integrate it in a system, let's say you're on WhatsApp, right? Facebook Messenger, people just view it as I message when I'm on Facebook or there's an app. But eventually you should be able to, from what it looks like, and I could be wrong, but it would make sense why they're doing this. When it gets integrated into things like what you want to start messaging people on WhatsApp, texting them, you want to start doing SMS texting to people on WhatsApp, right? This is all a version of Messenger. I bet you they're going to start charging an arm and a leg for all this stuff.
Wow. Nice. So I have been testing a lot with Facebook Messenger and the reach is fabulous, but we have to be very, very careful with what is the message that we are broadcasting, because the higher chance Facebook might block you with extremely promotional content. Okay, Neil, what is one effective social media marketing tool that you would recommend to every small business owner and why?
I love using Social Blade. It's an analytics tool. It tells me how many followers my competition has on a regular basis. I use that to keep track of them. And then if I see someone growing really fast, I then will go look into their profile, see what they're doing. And you can base it off the growth rate. If they're growing super fast, you should look at their content, look at their strategy and reverse engineer it. If they're growing really slow, move on and pay attention to someone else. Awesome.
So Social Blade is a tool that you use to track social analytics or track the engagement of your competition. Awesome. how crucial are visuals for small businesses? This is one of those things that I see most of the small business owners compromising a lot on. What's your take?
There was a stat that I read the other day that humans interpret visual images 60,000 times better than text,
Wow.
right? And I don't know if that percentage is true or not, or that number is true or not, but either way, we all know it's substantially higher than text. Visuals are very important. This is why companies like Canva are really big.
Right. So do you think that every small business owner should have like a small mini studio inside of their retail outlet or inside of a store or a restaurant so that they can always go click photos for social media? Do you think that's very important as a setup in 2020?
I think it's important for them to do the photos. I don't know if they necessarily need a studio that's part of their shop. They can always make room, take some pictures. Uh, Real estate is expensive in most parts of the world, so the last thing you want to do is have a whole section dedicated to photography. Doesn't mean it's not important. It's very, very important. But there's other ways to do it without having a section or renting more space.
Awesome. Um, what are some of the effective ways one can build relationships with their customers using social media? Let's say you are of a restaurant business, okay? And what would you recommend them at the moment to drive relationships with their customers using social media? What would be your strategy in that case?
Sure. So when I look at restaurants and if I'm a restaurant and I'm trying to engage, I would do a few things. One, give people a perk, like a free dessert, something small that's not too costly. If they take pictures and they share it on the social web while they're there at your restaurant. The next thing I would do if I was them is every time someone leaves a comment or posts an image, I would respond back. And when they post an image, have them tag you, of course, but respond back. Because when you respond back, what you'll find is it'll help you grow and get more traffic, get more engagement, have more loyalty over time as well.
Awesome. Any other suggestion that you would like to add here, or that's about it?
I was that because here's a problem, and you know this as well. If you're a small business and you just keep pushing and pushing, and you say do these 20, 30 times, they're not going to do all of them. I believe do one or two things really well, grow, and as you get bigger, then add one or two more things. But start off slow and steady and do the things you are doing right and great.
Awesome. Neil, like now that we're doing this on Instagram and a lot of people are watching this on Instagram, ideally, how would you think a small business can easily get its first 1,000 followers on this platform?
The easiest way is what we're doing right now. Go find other Instagram members, whether they have 1,000 followers, 10,000, 100,000, it doesn't matter. Start going live with them and doing joint live webinars. I'm guessing every time we do live webinars like this, or not live, they're not really webinars, but live
Live
broadcasts.
Insta Live, basically.
Yeah, you're getting more followers. I'm getting more followers. We're both growing our accounts together. It's the same
Absolutely.
reason why I'm like, hey, we should probably do something, because even though we're both in digital marketing, we have very different audiences as well because we're in different parts of the world. Now, there is overlap as well, but why not continually do stuff together and grow our audiences together as well?
I think so. Collaboration with influencers to make them go live from their channel or go live along with them is one of the best tips, is what Neil is saying. Neil, what else do you think that they can do to get 1,000 followers? I'm just thinking of a lot more ideas that they can note down at the moment.
Yeah, it was funny too, because when you went live, I logged on a little bit earlier and I was looking and I saw your story and I was like, oh crap, I didn't see it. If I knew about it ahead of time, I would have shared it on my story and we would have got more people going live as well. The other thing that you can end up doing is if you want more followers, and this is really simple, every time someone in your space is putting images, advice, tips that you can think you can provide value to, leave a detailed comment, help other people out. See, a lot of people talk about social media as being social and you respond to your comments. I agree with you. But why aren't people responding to the comments on other people's pages? What I mean by this is, let's say if I was trying to get a lot of followers, you have a ton of followers. And if you post some marketing advice and I notice you don't barely respond to your comments, I'm not saying you do that. But what I would do is I would start going and responding to all of your comments when people are asking questions, answer them, help them out. And that'll help me get more followers as well.
Awesome. commenting is one of the systems that he suggests. I would also say that one of the things that they can all do is they can give shout outs. So if they can basically create templates for their customers, and they can just send it to their customer on WhatsApp after they had a good experience. They can just say, hey, if you love our work, please give us a shout out using this template, or just give us a shout out on Instagram. And the customers giving shout outs can actually help you get a lot of followers. Like for this live session, I made a lot of people give us a shout out. So they were, I'm not sure if you've seen, but they've tagged us on their post saying that we are excited to go live with Neil and Sorav. So it's a way to actually get a lot of their followers to connect with us and start looking at this. Okay, Neil.
And I look at it as like you can do the shout out for shout outs, and it's super effective. But one thing I found is 2-3 years ago, the shout outs for shout outs provided much more virality. And nowadays, the reach isn't as good, sadly, but it's still
the problem with shout outs has become is that a lot of people are getting irrelevant shout outs from irrelevant audiences. So that makes no sense, because you will get the number of followers, but you'll not get relevant followers. So if I'm giving a shout out to Neil and Neil is giving a shout out to me, we have a similar kind of audiences. It makes larger sense for us to give shout out to each other. So it's also important to get shout outs from extremely relevant pages. But a lot of people just don't do that. They get shout outs from meme pages. That becomes like a challenge for getting a lot of irrelevant followers to your page. Okay, Neil, how crucial?
You got it right too. And then here's another thing about shout outs that people forget is if you get a ton of shout outs and they're irrelevant, remember how we talked about earlier in this live session, how it screws up your reach. So you don't want 100,000 fans that don't engage with you. It's going to be that whenever you post content, no one's going to see it. You want more followers that engage. You're better off having 1,000 followers. I have over 100,000 followers. I wish I had 1,000 followers and only 1,000, but every single follower engaged, because if they left a comment, they liked, they shared it, and they did it naturally without me spamming, it would cause virality, and my post would be very, very popular on Instagram. It would probably get millions and millions of views.
Right. Super. All right. So we are actually noting down a lot of points here. Any other thing for the first 1,000? So we talked about shout out. We spoke about what was the first point? So I think the first point about the 1,000 followers, where how do we really go live with influencers? So I think that was one interesting point there. All right. So guys, if you think this is amazing and you're having a lot of fun, go in the chat right now and say amazing. Okay. Neil, the next question to you is, how crucial is brand aesthetics on Instagram? Does it really matter to follow a grid pattern? Because a lot of brands are just stuck there. They just think that I need to have a grid, I need to follow the right aesthetics for Instagram. How much do you think is very important to have the element of branding on Instagram for businesses?
I think it is important, but at the same time, people want to relate. See, what makes Instagram so unique is it's personal. People want to connect with you, the individuals within the company. It's not just a logo. Things don't have to be perfect. They want those personal experiences. Look at my background. I'm just sitting on a couch. I got a bathroom over there, and living room. Like, I got a blanket that's not folded on the couch. It is what it is. Look at you. You got an AC behind you. You're sitting somewhere in a corner. Like, it works. You don't have to be perfect. Just go out there and give really good information, and people are happy.
Wow. So you're saying that don't focus a lot on aesthetics, just be yourself, or just give the best that you can give. Add a lot of value is what you're trying to say that matters.
Correct.
Awesome. This is cool. That's a good tip out there. All right. The next one to you is, considering that most of the small businesses are one-man army, what's the best approach for them to survive, to make ROI? Like, most of them fear investing in advertisements. Do you think organic success is possible in social media marketing? Or do you think there should be some percentage that they should allocate for their advertising budgets? How important is advertising in social media marketing? Because many businesses is only looking for organic success, which I think is the biggest challenge today. So how much do you think that a business should invest in advertising? And if you think advertising, should it be to increase followers, or should it be just get the visibility? What is that you would suggest at the moment?
Advertising's good. Sadly, these social networks have made it where if you don't you're not going to get as much reach. It doesn't mean you can't do well organically. It just means you should try testing both. And a lot of times if you do some paid ads, it helps with your organic reach as well. So consider doing a little bit of paid, even if you don't want to. Even if it's 100 rupees a week or 200 rupees a month, whatever the number is, something is better than nothing. Even if it's dollars, $100 a month is better than nothing.
Awesome. And where do you think they should be investing this, in growing their followers, or do you think they should be using this in growing their email list? What is your recommendation?
I think they should be using it to grow their email list, because emails you control. Followers, you may have 1 million followers, but if you can't reach them because the social networks decide that they're not going to let you reach them, you're screwed.
Awesome. I think it's very important for all of you to learn that you should chase the right numbers. A lot of us are chasing number of followers, but not the number of email IDs that you can possibly have for your business. So I think that is one thing you should be doing. Focus on building email list. And that is what, and those audiences can eventually come and follow you on Instagram as well. So that is what the connection should be. That's a very interesting one. Neil, let's say as a business owner and a local business out there, what would be the top 3 videos that you would recommend them that they should definitely be doing, which can actually help them in building their custom audiences? What kind of videos that you would recommend them, those 3 styles of videos that you would recommend them at this point of time?
So are you talking about videos that they should be using to be posting on the social sites, or are you talking about videos that can, is it video content they should be posting, or are you talking about videos that can be teaching them and educating them?
Videos that they think are not the education, the kind of videos that they should be creating. Let's say I'm a doctor, okay, and I have, and let's take a doctor's perspective at the moment. A lot of doctors are looking forward to have their, a lot of patients walking into their clinics. So what would be ideally those 3 videos that you would recommend for a doctor to have on social media, according to what would be your tip for that matter?
Sure. One is a video that breaks down the experience of someone being in your office, how it works, your procedures. 2, I would end up creating case studies and testimonials of a lot of other people, the more the better, before afters that they're accepting. And then 3, I would have a lot of educational videos that talk about different procedures, bad procedures, good procedures, plastic surgery gone wrong, plastic surgery gone right. Like, those are all examples of stuff that would really do well for a doctor's office.
Awesome. Good one. Really good one. The next one for you, let's say this is a very important question, which I get a lot from a lot of Indian customers. I'm giving you a situation, and in this situation, what would you be recommending to that particular guy? Okay. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Are you tired? Are you tired?
Am I what?
Are you tired? I said with a lot of questions.
No, I'm not tired. I'm good.
Awesome. Okay. So a man opened a computer shop, okay, way back in 2000, in the year 2000, in a 2-tier city. He used to make a revenue of about, let's say, 7 to 8 crores, which is about, let's say, roughly about, if I have to say in $1 million, I'll figure that number out, but I'll give it to you. Let's say he
was making a lot of money. I got it.
He's making a lot of money. Let's take it that way. Now his revenue is just 25% of what he was making, okay? As people have now started buying through Amazon and other sales that's happening online, what can such people do on social media? These small retailers who are losing business to the online stores, what should they be doing on social media?
Okay, so first off, on social media, they can be talking about their products and services that they're offering, because you may not just be selling computers. You could be selling computer repairs and offering other services, which could increase your revenue as well. 2, have testimonial videos. 3, talk about some of the cool products that you're building. So let's say if you're doing computers, and let's say you do custom computers, I would showcase some of my custom computers for each vertical: gaming, data processing, and show like some of the crazy stuff that some of your machines can do. I would also start talking about computer training. Think about your customer types. Are they newbies? Do they not know how to use programs? If so, teach them how to use it, so that way they're more likely to buy from you. If they're advanced, show them some of the advanced tactics. Then the other thing I would do on social media, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but on Facebook, you can actually go live and sell products and people can start buying from you, and there's buy buttons where they can just start purchasing. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I have not
And
experienced it. Have you done that?
I have not done it. I've seen it though. So in America, we have things called like the Home Shopping Network, where you go on TV and people can sell products and be like, "Oh, holy, 100 left, 99 left,
Yeah,
50
yeah,
left."
it happens in India also. They do a lot of fake dramatic testimonials and stuff. So yeah,
But they
it
go
happens
live
in
on
India.
TV. You can do the same thing now on Facebook, and people can just buy. So I would showcase my computer of the day and talk about what cool things you can do, and then you can do 3 or 4 of them a day. Technically, you do one video, but you can have multiple products and be like, this is the best gaming computer. Only sell like 10, 20 of them. Then you can do one next after that, and the next one could be the deal of the day. Here's what we're giving, massive discount, first come, first serve. And by doing a lot of those things, you can start making sales on social media. Because what's cool is this, you already know you can attract a lot of people when you go live, because these social sites want to showcase it, because they're going to start taking a cut of the sales. So if they're taking a
Right.
cut of the sales, they're making money. So your goal should just be have amazing offers and deals so you can start generating the sales.
Awesome. And what do we call this kind of live? Is it called shoppable live? Oh, I've not seen this feature yet. I need to explore it for my brands then.
I don't know the exact verbiage of what it's called, but I know it's on Facebook right now, and people are using it to make sales.
Awesome.
Especially
If you guys, super. Guys, if you're enjoying this session, just take a screenshot or take a screen, make a screen video, post it on your Instagram stories, do tag us at Neil Patel, NEILPATEL, at SORAVGAIN, tag both of us. And if you, whichever is your favorite bet, just go ahead and do that. If you guys are going to do that for us, just leave a thumbs up right now in the chat at the moment. Awesome. That's some interesting tip there of educating your audiences. If your business is going down, why don't you educate your audience on how to use what software or what markets? Actually educate people first and trying to get them into your store. So that's very interesting, because people will value your education and they might want to buy your products out there. So that's a very interesting bit there up there, because a lot of people are just believing in talking about offer and sales in a setup like that, but not education, which can actually become a game changer for a business like that. Interesting. Okay. The next question is, do you think in 2020, Twitter is losing its plot in the game of social media marketing? Not personal branding. Of course, personal branding, it's great because you can grow your influence. But from a business point of view, I don't see businesses are as excited as they were a few years back. So do you think it's losing its plot in 2020?
It's losing some, but it's still a big company and they're still making a ton of money. So it may not be sexy as much anymore, like let's say TikTok, but it doesn't matter. Yes, it's older, but it's making a ton of money and it's still growing. So who cares? It's just like you look at companies like IBM. Yeah, they're not social, but you look at IBM. It's an old company. No one cares about them, but yeah, it's still probably worth well over $100 billion. Money is money, right?
Right. Super. So have you ever practiced advertising on Twitter? Have you ever experienced how's been your experience on Twitter?
It's been good. The cost isn't as cheap as I would like. Technically, the cost isn't as cheap as I would like on any platform.
Right.
But it works, and you can get very, very qualified people. So what I've noticed about Twitter is, sure, you may not get, it's not necessarily a numbers game. It's more of you can get the right type of people.
Right. Have you started using the Reels feature of Instagram?
I have not used the Reels feature. Have you?
Not yet. I have to start learning a little bit of dance and drama to do that.
Yeah. You have some
Okay.
dance videos. I've seen some dance videos on your profile.
I do dance. So but I don't think that I will do a lot of reels as such. But yeah, maybe if I have to get a lot of followers, and I have to dance on reels to get followers and teach while dancing. And I know you don't dance. You told me this last time. But when you're in India, I'll make you dance. That's for sure. Okay. Neil. Okay. What are the upcoming 3 social media marketing trends that you foresee, and you think that these tools or these trends is where businesses should make their investment at this point of time?
Sure. So the big thing that I see with social media, first off, is all reach is going to go to crap, in which Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, I believe reach is going to keep dying and dying down, and they're going to want money. You've seen a little bit of in the past, but I think it's going to get much, much worse in the upcoming years. There always will be organic reach, but some people think it's bad right now. I think it's going to get even worse. And because of that, I would first recommend you start collecting emails. Because if you have your own emails, you can control your own audience more than you can if you have people on your messenger list or a follower on a fan page. The second thing that I would have companies invest is, right now in social media, the biggest trend I'm seeing when it comes to content is video content is dominating. So Facebook, YouTube, all of them, at least we see it here in America, and you will see it more and more globally. They're trying to compete with the television company. They're competing for attention. It doesn't matter if it's Netflix or Disney Plus or a television channel like VTV or NBC, or it doesn't matter what channel. Social networks want to compete with your time. They want your attention. So if you create more video content, you go more live, you're more likely to get that attention. The third biggest trend that we're seeing right now is these guys, a lot of them are publicly traded. They got to figure out more ways to monetize. So start selling on these social platforms. They're creating more tools, like, kind of like how you do telesales or TV sales, and you can sell over the television. The same thing goes with the same thing goes with selling on Facebook and all these social sites.
Right. So I think shoppable advertisement, shoppable post, I think these are
Did you
the
need
way
something,
forward.
Mom?
It's what, sorry?
No, I was just talking to my mom, see if she needed something.
All right. Okay.
You
That's
never
nice.
gone to your appointment yet? You already came back? Oh, okay, you're done. Okay. Sorry
Say
about
hi,
that.
say hi to your mom.
All right. She says hi.
Thank you. So that's a nice one. So do you see augmented reality somewhere kicking up now? Because a lot of people are getting there. No? It's too much
I
of
do,
hype.
but not in the next year or two. I think it's going to take much longer than that.
Yeah. Because I
The
think
problem is it's inconvenient. Technology isn't there. It's not as fluid. But okay, imagine this. You go to a mall, you go shopping center, you shop with your friends. That experience, when you try on clothes, bags, jewelry, whatever it may be. I don't really go shopping. But let's say you did. See, where I see augmented reality, virtual reality, and I know they're different, but taking off is, imagine yourself in a virtual mall, and you can shop with your friends, and it's lifelike, and it's like you're in the place, and you can actually, it's almost like you can feel it and touch it and be there. And the moment you can interact with your friends and go through that experience and be like, yeah, I want this, and then within 20, 30 minutes it's delivered to your house, that's when I see that kind of stuff getting really big.
awesome. So I think a lot of people innovate, they invest in augmented reality for a kind of innovation, to showcase innovation, but I don't think there's any real ROI that I foresee. Because I think the
Not right
user
now.
don't have the behavior of using augmented reality much. So from marketing standpoint, it's innovation, it's cool, but I don't think there's a lot of consumers consuming it.
Yep.
Amazing. That's really interesting bit out there. So there's the next question is, strategically, what would be your 5-step process for, let's say, 5-step social media marketing strategy process for a small business? Let's say you have to strategize and you have a small business in your hand and you have to take 5 steps for them. What would be those 5 steps that you would recommend or you would take for them at the moment?
Step number 1, follow all your competition and see what's working for them. What content's working for them typically will work for you. What doesn't work for them will not work for you in most cases. Not all, but in most cases. And that'll give you an idea of what kind of content to produce. Step number 2, I would end up going out there and I would make sure that so your competition is going to post certain types of content. Some of it's going to create more questions than others. Some of it isn't. And there's not just competition. There's other people in your space, like influencers. And what I would do is I'll start commenting on their profiles, being social, engaging, interacting, helping people. And what you'll find is that'll build you a much loyal audience. Step number 3, start posting video content, whether you go live, whether you just record videos from your phone and post about it. Step number 4, anytime someone leaves a comment, ask questions on your profile, engage, respond to those comments. Step number 5, I want you to cross-promote your platforms with each other, because some will be more popular than others, gain more traction. When you cross-promote them with each other, you'll start getting more of the followers on different platforms. And this is a good thing to do because you can now reach people. And what I mean by that is reach is dying down, but if your people are following you on multiple platforms, there's a good chance they'll see you at least on one of them. And I know you asked for 5, but I'll give you a step number 6 because 2 of them were on commenting. And step number 6 would be push people to landing pages on your websites where you're giving away free goodies and collect emails. So that way you can control your audience.
Awesome. That's a very interesting one. Give away something. That should be a lead magnet so that you can convert your potential social media audience into your email audience and then nurture the email audience to give them something more. Of these tools, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, where do you think people should invest more time in building their community at this point of time? You have to pick one. I know you'll say 360 degree. I know you'll say omni-channel. I know what you're going to say. So I've already read your mind at this moment, but I just want you to think of one at the moment, and what would it be?
It would be Instagram. The reason I pick Instagram is it's more personable. The more people relate to you, I think the higher conversions will be. And I love how Instagram's that personal social network, for me at least. When I look at Facebook, it's kind of cold. I don't really engage and interact with people too much on Facebook. Instagram, I love it. Like, I feel like I'm connecting with individuals personally. I also like how the fact that I know a lot of people using Instagram from their phone and only their phone. And it's not all work related, and it's fun to see what your friends and family members are doing.
Awesome. So Instagram is what Neil is saying, and that's what I was telling my team today. For next 3 years, Instagram is going to dominate big time. If you guys are the students of Instagram Influencer Mastery, go type down in the chat and say, I am. I know that you guys are there watching this live at the moment. We all know that we are awesome influencers. Anyways, Neil, it's been a great having a great conversation with you at the moment. I'll shoot one last question, and then we'll pick up some questions from the audiences. The question to you is, Neil, what's that one golden tip on the Digital Guru Thursday? I titled this show as the Digital Guru Thursday, that people should definitely remember for long. That one golden Neil tip that you want to give at the moment.
The biggest tip is, and most people won't be doing this, but okay, in business, it's not expensive to create products anymore. It's not expensive to have servers anymore, do digital businesses. The most expensive part is marketing and sales. And I think that trend will continue in the long run. It's expensive to advertise, especially on the social channels. So my tip for you guys is figure out what products, services that you can give away more for free. And you may think about this, why would I give away more for free? That's going to cost me money. It's less income that I can make. What we found is more effective is that instead of spending a lot of that money on ads and engagement, it's easier to just give away more of your product or service away for free because it creates virality and it gets more traffic coming to you, better quality traffic, and you don't have to spend as much money on ads. It's much more effective from what we're seeing.
Awesome. That's some really good tip, Neil. Thank you so much for that last one. Guys, if you have any questions for Neil, shoot in the chat. I'm going to take up 2 questions from this, 2 to 3, and we will answer them today in this session. So whatever your questions are, go in the chat right now. Go ahead and shoot it to us at the moment. All right, Neil. So what's your day like today? What are you up to? Have a lot of meetings lined up, or you're going to work from home? How is it like for you?
I work from home every day. Pretty relaxing day. Spend time with my family, my daughter, my parents. I have another YouTube. I have technically this Instagram, but I have a YouTube live that I had to do, I think, in 2-3 hours. And then just emails. Maybe I'll write a blog post today. Phone calls, follow-up meetings with my team.
Awesome. Okay. What is the best social media bot? Have you been using any kind of bots on commenting or liking your post? Do you recommend bots?
I don't recommend bots, and the reason I don't recommend bots is they're not personable. Social media is supposed to be a personal connection. Bots don't make it personal, and they're not effective. And all these platforms are trying to ban bots. And it doesn't mean you can't get results from them. I just think it's short-sighted. Do things that are long run, because if you're too short-sighted, you're going to waste your time trying to find hacks that aren't effective versus just figuring out how to provide more value and grow organically more in the long run.
Awesome. Do we need a website in this era, or Instagram page enough? That's a question from a guy called Dixit.
You need a website. Most
Yes.
experiences first start with search. Most search happens on Google. If you don't have a website, you're not going to do well when it comes to SEO. You're not going to control your own destiny. If you just want to do stuff on Instagram or LinkedIn and they crush reach, what's going to happen? You're too reliant on one of those channels. You need your own website.
Awesome. Somebody's just commented saying, Neil, you have an amazing, infectious smile.
Thank you.
Now Neil is smiling. So that's from a girl, Neil. That's just for your friends. Okay. Next one is Facebook is really pushing WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, is it important to set that up for businesses?
WhatsApp is definitely important because WhatsApp, I believe, is a future of texting. More people are on WhatsApp than any other texting platform that I know of. It's used all around the world. In India, WhatsApp is used more than the texting through the providers. Am I correct?
Right.
So, and that's like a lot of parts of the world. Not really in the US, but it's getting more and more popular here. It's extremely popular. You should use WhatsApp.
Awesome. Thank you, Neil. So those were 3 questions from the audiences that I wanted to ask. We are going to catch up again next Thursday, discussing about growing your YouTube channel. And we're going to throw some really, really interesting insights right there. If you guys are going to be part of it, mark it on your calendar right now, block it up, and be there next Thursday at the same time for the Digital Guru Thursdays for a lot of fun learning experience. Neil, anything that you want to say at the end?
Appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you for taking the time. And Sorav, hop on Skype. We should connect now if you have like a few minutes.
Okay, I'll just get this done and just give me 5 minutes and I'll connect with you on Skype.
Yeah, just hop on Skype whenever you have a minute. Take care.
Sure.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
I'll catch up with you on Skype. Thank you, Neil. Nice talking to you. Bye. All right, guys. So it was a pleasure hosting all of you tonight. And I hope you guys had a great learning experience. Many of you are telling me, please unbutton your collar button. I think I'm absolutely comfortable with this. This is my style. If you guys want to follow my style, go ahead and replicate it. But I'm not going to unbutton this at the moment. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure hosting all of you. And I hope you guys had a great learning experience. Stay tuned for the next Thursday because there is a lot more to learn from Neil. And you're going to bring some more questions. And keep sending me questions for YouTube because I just keep noting them down before I go for my live sessions with the experts. With this note, I shall end up this one. This is going to be recorded, will be there on IGTV, will be on my Instagram. You can tag your friends. Do one thing. If you enjoyed this session, do share this video with your friends so that they can learn as well. 45 minutes of learning is definitely going to get them a lot of value. Dhanyawad. Thank you so much. You guys are truly awesome. Loving you all so much. And I'll catch up with you guys soon again. Goodbye.